bear with. Guess who forgot to press the timer button when setting his music off and had to guess. How are we doing? How is everyone? Let's pop open the comments. Let me have a drink. Got a cold drink today. I know this is Cuppa catch up and cards, but I needed a cold drink, so I've got one of my two favorites. I've got Pepsi Max Cherry, but I also really like the Bars Shandy as a cold pop. And they've just released it sugar-free as well, which is brilliant because it never used to be. But I think most carbonated drinks now are sugar-free, aren't they? Anyway, before it gets too busy, because there's already 60 people here, let's do the hellos and welcomes. First one in was Rob. Hi, Rob. I hope you're okay. Closely followed by Linda and the lovely Marilyn and Esco at Lily Rose. He's doing a chili con carne. Oh, in this heat. Will's here. Hi, Will. Rachel, Golden. We've got Saskia, Kathy, Aldermoon, Sandra, Elspeth, Chris. Hello, Chris. We have Rachel and Sarah and Petra, Kathy, Steph, Nordic Tarot, Nika. Nice to see you, Nika. Robin. Okay, if you're watching back, Robert, if you're still here, do come back because I've got there's a new RWS kid on the block threatening to knock others off the podium. And I know you're constantly looking for the one. So we'll see if this is it. So enjoy your sunshine and catch you later. Artemis, Trio, Kristen, Moomin, hello. Quiet Earth, hello. Fireside, hello. We have Ferdiad, SJ, Gigi, Joe. I'm making creamy Cajun pasta. Oh, that sounds nice. Holly, hello, Holly. And Marita, forever. Joe, hello, Joe. It's lovely to see you. Samantha and Emma, English Witch in France. I might just stick around for the RWS. I'll try and do it relatively close to the beginning then. I was going to keep it till the end, but I know you want to go out and enjoy some sunshine, and it's really important to enjoy sunshine. So if you remember a few weeks ago, I was really struggling and I admitted defeat and went to a GP and they said I had a vitamin D deficiency. So I think I've briefed everybody on that. I've been on this med, Fullitum, something like that. And the difference is remarkable, absolutely remarkable already. And I've only been on it 10 days now. Week last Thursday, I think it was. So 9 days. And that sort of complete feeling of total exhaustion has lifted. Yay. So I'm chuffed about that. I feel like I'm more or less back to my old self because I was worried for a while because I really just didn't have the energy or the inclination to do pretty much anything. And with work, particularly with work, it's a crucial time of the year. This week I had a big event that I host annually. It's an awards ceremony. And the thought of me not being able to do it anyway, everything had gone to the engravers and trophies and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, all is well. So thank you for all of those who sent me messages. I've really appreciated it. Robin's now just reminded me. What's that? What's Robin reminded? Robin's just now reminded me that I have to order the manuscript of Initiations. So I pulled up the Dark Cineva site, and there's so much to look at. Too much. There is. I have that. Robin gifted me this when I was in New York, and it sits here where I can grab it. So I don't know why I have to start with this tickly cough. I think it's because I've been home today a lot. I went out this morning and obviously did my walk with my friend and the dogs. And I was back home for about 8:30 this morning, which is nearly 11 hours ago. Had a little bit of a nap. And then when you're home alone, you don't talk, do you? And then suddenly you're sitting on a live stream and you've got to talk, and then I get a little bit throaty. Vitamin D deficiency is no joke. No, it's not. And I have had a vitamin deficiency before, and it led to a bout of depression. So it's weird, isn't it, how things can be interconnected? And that was in 2018, probably about the June time. And I ended up having quite a bit of time off work, and I can't bear that. I've been in this job 7 years. I've not had a day off sick yet. Touch wood. But anyway, yeah, it's no joke, but very treatable. So that's the good thing about it. Best news, Simon. Thank you, Golden. That's nice. I talk when home alone. Well, truth be known, Artemis, I have been known to have a bit of a natter with myself as well. Particularly if I'm kind of, what's the word? Sort of encouraging myself to do something. I will say something like, "Come on, Simon, go and do those pots." I'm so excited to finally make a live. Hi, Tina Marie. Lovely to see you. Hi, Simon. Hi, Sandra. I hope, and everyone else. Well, it's lovely to have you here. And Cheryl's here as well. Hello, Cheryl. How are you? I have British Isles ancestry. Even in Arizona, my vitamin D gets low. Yeah, and I think there's lots of reasons. It's even linked with aging, because the skin gets thinner and things like that. But even though I've been talking a lot about the weather, and it's like, why would I get a vitamin D deficiency when we go through a really, sunny spell that's been going on for months? But, like the doctor said, how often do you go out and spend time in it? And I don't. I work long hours. I come home and I'm here in my cave. So I do need to get out more and enjoy it. I love the days out that I do. I wasn't going to be here tonight because today was going to be one of the trips that I do, and I was going to do a vlog. But one of the people that I go with has come down with COVID, went on a cruise, got COVID. And today is day 10. So we was playing it by ear. And we said, let's give it till Thursday. And on Thursday, she was still positive, although felt much better. We decided not to risk it. Again, I don't want to get that on top of everything else. So we've put it to next Sunday. So still be a couple of catch-up cards next Saturday. And then the Sunday after is... next Sunday is when I go on the trip. So I'll do a vlog and I'll be outside, have vitamin D deficiency. Also, doctors gave me vitamin D supplements. Still have deficiency. I feel like crap. Yeah, I can't really describe it to somebody. It really is like you've reached your limit with everything, and you just have that total exhaustion. She told me it was exhaustion, but we didn't know why until I got the blood test results. Here in the northern hemisphere of the US, we still get SAD, which is characterized by vitamin D deficiency due to the lack of sunlight in the winter. Yeah. And we haven't been too bad. We didn't have a really bad winter. And right the week before Christmas, I went to New York, and that turned out to be really sunny. Went out one day in short sleeves, so I just don't get enough exposure to it. But anyway, enough of that. What's been happening? So today, I don't know if anybody else is fans of The Handmaid's Tale, but the last ever episode dropped today, and I mean, nothing. I don't think anything would have topped the penultimate episode last week. Season 6, episode 9 was incredible. The acting in it was amazing. But the final episode today took it full circle and closed the story. Well, I say closed the story for June, but it's left it open for Testaments, Margaret Atwood's next book. I got this for Christmas 2 Christmases ago, and I've not read it. And I decided not to read it until Handmaid's Tale had finished, just in case there was any spoilers. And I'm glad, because there is a spoiler. Even though only the first series of Handmaid's Tale was based on Margaret Atwood's 1985 book. And then she wrote this one, was it 2019? 34 years later. It's incredible. But because of who the central character in this is, you know how the story is going to unfold. So really glad I sat on it for a couple of years, put it on my bookcase. I binged the first 3 seasons during lockdown, because it started in 2017. So during lockdown, when I binged loads of stuff, Schitt's Creek, Ozarks. What else did I binge watch during that time? Oh, Tiger King. And Handmaid's Tale. And then I've watched the seasons 4, 5, and 6 each year. Well, season 6 has taken 2 years to get to us. So, and I know DVDs aren't like popular anymore, but I'm gonna get if I can, if they release it, the whole season, the whole series of all 6 seasons, because it's one of the most incredible TV shows I've ever watched. Loved it. And I can't wait for Testaments. I really can't. So yeah. Hello, Ramon. Lovely to see you. Hello, dear Simon and friends. Blessings. It's lovely to have you here. Are you back off your holiday? You've been on vacation, haven't you? June is badass. She is. I mean, what she's been through and what she survived, and still coming out fighting. Yeah, she really is badass. It's a very strong female cast. The males in Handmaid's Tale are kind of like supporting cast, aren't they? But yeah, just incredible. If anybody hasn't watched it, highly recommend it. And it's not what you think it is either, unless you know about it. If you've read the books, then you get an idea. But a friend of mine was like, "Oh, I never wanted to watch it because I didn't think I'd like it, and the subject matter and all that." And I was like, "Just watch it. I know you'll love it." And has just watched all 6 seasons in probably the last month. Yes, I'm back. Went to Mexico City. It was amazing. I've really enjoyed seeing your pictures on Instagram. It looked amazing. If you just watch the last season of Handmaid's Tale, does the finale make sense? No. Honestly, watch them all, because you have to go on June's journey. June is her real name. She becomes Offred. And it keeps doing that, does it? Every time I put my hand up. You really have to go on that journey with her. And if you watch the last season, there's a character in there called Serena. You won't understand their journey together. And characters like Janine, you really do have to watch it. And then the final episode loops back to the first episode as well. and then begins the Handmaid's Tale, because it is a testimony, a bit like the sequel book. So I've only just started it. I've only read 3 chapters because I finished watching it this morning, had a nap, and then got up. I read both the books. This season was not based on the books at all. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6 aren't based on the books, but they had permission from Margaret to do it, and Margaret Atwood said to them, "Do whatever you like with the story, but don't do anything. Don't kill off this character." And that was back in 2018, I think, after the success of the first, because the first season, the 2017 season, is based on the book The Handmaid's Tale, and then they use artistic license and where they think the story will go. And the reason was because Margaret Atwood was writing Testaments, and it has a central character in there. And so she was like, "Don't kill that character off." And they're glad they didn't, because now they're also going to be making Testaments. So that's what has been happening, and lots of work stuff. Okay, so the deck, because Robin wants to go out. The fact Margaret Atwood based The Handmaid's Tale on real life events is scary. Yeah, it is. It is scary, and you can see parallels. I do believe that the US is on the road to Gilead, and I also believe that the UK is following them up that road. So, but anyway, that's for another debate. So I don't know if he's in chat, but Railcat Tom, he sent me an email probably a couple of weeks ago saying, "Simon, I found an RWS deck, and it's a 1909 edition, and it's very reminiscent of the Centennial, but it's on linen cardstock, and it's by oh my gosh, I need my Vieux-Monde, which is French for Old World." And I've not opened it yet. You have to get it from America, again, Robin, if you're interested. And it wasn't expensive, less than $20. It's in a 2-part box, and then there's a little note that they've put underneath. And I think I've got some Vieux-Monde decks. They do kind of like classic editions. "Thank you for supporting our small business. If you feel inclined, please consider leaving a review. It really helps. Best wishes, Thomas." I thought that's quite nice to have a little hi Bonnie, a little note stuck into it. Where's my seam ripper? So I thought we could have a look at it. I love the Centennial by US Games, but it was when they were doing those blooming awful copyrights all the way down the side, top and bottom, so because of reversals. And I was like, So when he said a 1909, very reminiscent of the Centennial, and then he said in linen cardstock, of course I was like, I don't have a 1909 in linen cardstock. And off down that rabbit hole I went. The box is really nice. It is a 2-part box. It feels really silky and smooth. Really nice quality. I can now read the back because that sticker's gone. So it says, first created in 1909 by Pamela Coleman Smith, this tarot deck has now become the standard for tarot readers across the world. This print respects the original art, colours, and dimensions by printing directly from the historic 1909 deck. Vieux-Monde. That is the backs. Hello, Bermuda. So glad I've caught you live. I normally have to watch recorded. Well, it's lovely to see you here. Forever After says, I'm in the US also. Agree, Heather Cox, Richard, just saying. Heather Cox, I don't know what she said. I can't see her. No, I can't see it. If you need to catch my attention or anything, then do put comments in capitals and I'll try and pop them up. So yeah, it's a nice, very easy to part, 2-part box, very, very sturdy. Almost like if anybody's bought decks from Destiny, it's very similar to that, if not the same, actually. Really, really sturdy. Sorry, Simon. What are you sorry for? Don't be sorry. Yeah, really nice sturdy box. You do get a little white book, which is interesting. This is taken from the Key to the Tarot. I don't think it is. So reading tarot, about the deck, spreads, reading reverse cards, and then it just goes into the cards. I don't know why it has to say that though for every. That's a little bit annoying. In tarot, the Fool card, the Magician card in tarot, High Priestess, the High Priestess card in tarot, the Empress card in tarot, the Emperor card in tarot. We know that it's in tarot. Oh my gosh, even in the minors. The Ace of Swords in tarot. It's not like a header written into every page. So we have our classic 1909 backs, the Roses and Lilies, which I'm pleased about. Because again, sometimes when companies decide to do a version of an historic deck like the Pame or the 1909 Roses and Lilies, they then go and put a god-awful back on that has no connection whatsoever. I do remember a 1909 revised, it was called, and it had like a constellation, you know, the one that looks like an eye of the universe. And I was like, oh, that's on the back of all the cards. Ooh, this actually feels good. Sounds like a useless little white book. No, it's, I mean, if you could just get past that. In fact, I'll read you one card just so you get an idea of what the little white book, because I did kind of just take the piss out of it and move quickly past. So let's look for the Hermit. The Hermit. The Hermit card in tarot signifies introspection, solitude, and the pursuit of inner wisdom. Depicted as a solitary figure holding a lantern and standing on a mountaintop, it represents a period of deep self-reflection and a quest for spiritual knowledge. The lantern symbolizes the light of inner guidance and the willingness to seek answers within. The Hermit card suggests a time when it's important to withdraw from the external world, find solitude, and delve into your thoughts and feelings. This card encourages meditation, self-discovery, and a deeper understanding of your life's purpose. It can also indicate seeking the wisdom of mentors or spiritual guides. Ultimately, the Hermit represents a journey inward to find clarity, insight, and enlightenment in the quietude of introspection. So that's quite all right as far as little white books go. Sometimes you just get like a little short paragraph, don't you? But I quite like that. What's that? Simon made me do it. What am I making people do? Just got the Daydream Tarot. Really love it, but can't find out who the artist is. I find it strange that the artist isn't mentioned. A few people have left comments about that. I have mine here. Amazing artwork, but yeah, Some people are saying, is it AI? But you know what? Everybody knows my views on AI. But every time I'm showing a deck now, somebody's leaving a comment saying, is this AI? And I think if AI has got that good, then quietude is a funny word, isn't it? If AI's got that good, then we're going to get to the point where we just don't know. We just don't know. But what made me smile was it was this morning, somebody left a comment saying, I'm sure this deck is AI. And it was a really old deck from like 5 years ago. And I was thinking, I don't think it is. I think it's just computer art. And there's a very fine line between computer art or computer enhanced art. If somebody was to bring out the Fountain Tarot now, they would say this is AI. So, or any Rebecca Campbell deck, oh, this is AI. And I think we just have to be careful not to dismiss it. I prefer art that is, paints, crayons, you name it. Wow, this is nice cardstock. That's really thick for linen. That's my preferred medium when reading a deck. However, I don't think we should just write everything off that's not that as AI, or delve into what AI actually is, because is a deck that's had a computer program enhancing an image AI. Anyway, I don't want to go down an AI rabbit hole, but I suppose the big difference is that AI art is basically, yes, and if you just type away, create me a man in a tunic standing on the edge of a mountain with a little white dog at his heels, holding a white rose, looking out towards the sky, then, and it creates something, it's taken that from somewhere. You haven't, even if your image is rudimentary and you've put that in and put it into something and then say, enhance this. So yeah. I didn't say anything about AI. I think he's probably got you. You was on about quietude was your last comment. Anyway, quite a thick deck. I'm really impressed so far. The cardstock is really decent. Sometimes with linen cardstock, it can be quite thin. This is not at all. It's really nice, and I see exactly what. I hope this is clear enough on camera, but I see exactly what Tom was referring to. It does have that kind of aged effect to it, and if it is from an original 1909, a scan from an original 1909 deck, then it will have. Hi, Sinique. And it's lovely having this without any copyright as well. The colours are the right sort of saturation, a little bit muted, a little bit aged, as I said. It has that antique vibe to it. But what's nice is you can see a very distinct colour change between the magician's robe and the table. And I've seen some where it kind of all blends into one. This is great print quality. You can see the linen there. But I'm really impressed by the quality of the cardstock. Plus what I offer is free. And I know you've seen RWS images, so I won't necessarily show you them all, but this is my first time at seeing it. And I think these are going to be really durable to pop in a pouch and chuck in your bag. Because when I read for people, I use the RWS. any other deck I've got is for myself. And this is a nice version to have. Simon, can you please pull out a copy of the Centennial to hold up and compare? I can. The Centennial is next to my bed, so you'll have to bear with me. Let me go and get that from the bedroom. Shall I put a background on, or do you want to look at the cards behind me? Well, now I've said that, if I put a background on, you'll be like, I wanted to see the cards behind you, so I'll be back. Oh. Okay, so my Centennial. Where are we up to? We're up to Justice. Oh, they're not in order. Of course they're not in order. They're next to my bed. I've been using them. Justice. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Centennial, Justice. Let's put them side by side. So there's a bit more saturation in the Centennial. The yellow is a little bit brighter. And the image is a little bit more cropped, because here, do you see the yellow at the side? Whereas on this one, it stops at the pillars. And again, the only thing that bugged me was and it's not that noticeable, but noticeable enough. I'm zooming in on Simon's shelf, says Moomin. Did it upside down. A little misty. I wouldn't say misty. They're quite sharp. You can see the blemishes still, like on the horse there. You can see it is a scan, and they've left in. It's not been touched up or anything like that. Skvaro appears to be a brand name associated with a variety of Oracle and Tarot decks. Hi, Thace. Hello, Vasco. How are you? We're just showing a new kid on the block, which is the Tarot Classic 1909 edition by Viewmond. I had to get it from the States. Very inexpensive. It's a 1909 scanned copy, and it's on linen cardstock. And the cardstock is really nice. The linen stock is, for me, a selling point, but I'm not sure about the colouring. I'm nitpicking as usual, but I do have about 20 versions. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it with the naked eye, and I've probably got, as you know, 50 different RWS, and this is good. This is really good. I wouldn't have said that it was, what did you say, blurry or foggy or something like that? I think the line work is really nice, clean, crisp. The colours, I like the fact that they're muted. And And it's not just the fact that it's linen, it's a really decent card. Hello, Robbie. Yeah, so again, they've got the oh shit squiggle, as it's affectionately referred to. And the world, which is the front of the box, is it? Or is it the wheel? No, it's the wheel that's the front of the box. So you don't need me to show them all, but if anybody wants to see any minors, then just type it in and I'll show a few minors. Hello, Tarot Geek. How are you? I'm almost out of this Coke already. Shower says, I like it. I love the colouring, and the linen is a double bonus. Yeah, and it's a really, really good quality linen. And I think that's going to be great. Isn't it funny how I say we, it might just be me, shouldn't assume, but isn't it funny how I get excited about another RWS? 9 of Swords, please. Okay, so sword suits. Here is the 9 of Swords. Yeah, all the little imperfections are there, aren't they? Which is wonderful. What was that? Do you think you'll get it, Cheryl? These are terrible for trying to scroll up and down. Okay, another case of Simon made me do it. I ordered it. How much did you pay for it in dollars, if you don't mind me asking, Marilyn? Because obviously I paid for it in sterling, and I think it was less than £20, or it might have just been over £20. And my brain thought, oh, that's less than $20. It's all of us. It's tarot. Fair point. Any rum in the Coke? No, this is me on meds. Great. Don't Brits drink gin? I love gin. Yes, it's the drink of the gentry. Don't you know, Vanessa? Yeah, I love a gin. A gin and slimline tonic. Lots of ice, especially on a day like today. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I do like a nice whiskey, but mainly in the winter. Nice little shot of whiskey can be nice and warm your throat and gullet. I can look into it. I've just come to an agreement with Debris, so they might not be happy if I get another RWS in. Can they? They can't claim exclusivity though, can they? I'd appreciate any thoughts on the large, darkest Terra Volatile. It's the spare cards I have left that I have an issue with, I think. That's mine. I see why I sold it cheaper. They are dark. Not as dark as I was expecting. And I did say at the time when I was showing it that actually they weren't too bad. But you do need a lot of light if you're going to be working with them. And as for the extra ones, I think it's just fun to keep it. I keep mine obviously separately. There's a ribbon in the box. I'll put the ribbon between the two decks. And I was going to say, lost my train of thought. And I think, so the extra cards keep separately. And I think it's nice every so often to switch them around, because you kind of mold your own deck out of all the different variations that you've got. But I think it's also good to every so often switch them up. $18 for a deck of this quality. That's brilliant. It's on Amazon for $19.95. Okay, so wherever Marilyn got it from, she got the best deal then. So they used to call it Valium, Mother's Little Helper. They used to call it something else as well to do with mothers. Cheryl says, hopefully, oh, it's bloody jumped again. Hopefully I have 5 titles on the way of their classics to see how they go. And what are their classics, Cheryl? Because of you, I'm now obsessed with the Joker Tarot. It's my evening companion. I've struggled to let the Joker Tarot go. It was my deck of the month last month for my reflection, my evening deck as well. And I've missed it. It's still on my desk because it's not ready to go back on the bookcase. But it's an amazing deck. I think it's going to be up there. It's a contender. You know, at the end of the year, I do my top 10 decks of the year. It's a contender at the minute for the number 1 slot. I can tell you, it's brilliant. So I'm glad, Chewy, that you're enjoying it as well. I'm throwing cards on the floor. I've got to be careful not to wheel over it. Oh, the Ace of Swords is what jumped out the pack. Whatever that spark is, what have you been thinking about? New thoughts, new ideas. Time now to fertilise. Terra Volatile is here in Portugal. They're releasing a new version next Monday. New version as in still big cards, still full pack, or lighter cards. Exciting. Yeah, I need to know. Yeah, Cheryl says that the Joker is amazing as well. I need to know what Cheryl's going to be stocking out of the the debris. Mother's Ruin. Yeah. It's Bombay Sapphire. That's a nice one. With Indian lime tonic water while watching you. Oh, Lily Rose. Pour me one. I think my favourite gin is Hendrick's. I know it's a bit of an acquired taste, but I really like it. You have it with cucumber. Hendrick's and a nice slimline tonic is nice. Trio has ordered something. So many flavours of gin these days. Yeah, you get gin houses, can't you? With lots of... I'm scared of Joker Tarot. Don't be scared. Or sit with why you feel scared. They do a lot of vintage decks and a Minchiati. That's cool. I know they do a lot of vintage decks, but as in like all of the Pams, or... I'd pick the Devil's Lettuce over a drink any day. Devil's Lettuce? I like the sound of that. Hi, Tammy Pie. I wish that all those Scarabeo decks had the card stock from the Joker Tarot. Yeah. But they are re-releasing a lot of their back catalogue and putting them in these 2-part solid boxes with good card stock. Do wish I was a riffle shuffler. But you just enjoy being scared a little. I admire all of you that can get through the Joker Tarot. Some cards truly make me recoil. You know what Patrick Valenza would say? There's a very good reason why we have a reaction, or the reaction that we have to certain images, and we need to sit with why. Where does that come from? And that could be shadow work. I can't just use one deck for an entire month, even one in the morning and one in the evening. How do you do it with such a large collection? Because I was all over the place forever. So because I've got a large collection, I would get a deck. So for instance, let's look at one that I'm using, the one I've used this morning. I'm not going to say about this evening because I'm making a video tomorrow. I've still got 1, 2, 3 videos to do of Cheryl's decks. I'm trying to space them out to every few days. But I need to give an update on my decks of the month because, well, you'll see tomorrow. But let's look at the Metanoia. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Now, this would come in historically, before focusing on certain decks. This would come in and I'd ooh and ah over it and say, oh my gosh, what gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. And I'd do a few readings with it and I'd be like, this is it. This is the one. I'm going to carry this with me. I'm going to use it all the time. I found it. And then a few days later, another deck would come in. I'd be like, oh, look at that. I'm loving this. And the Metanoia would then kind of sit there for a bit. And then a few days after that, another deck would come in. And before you know it, I'm like, oh yeah, I've got the Metanoia Tarot. Oh, I love that deck. And so it goes on. And so a part of me was like, right, I need to get really good use out of a deck, even if it's only 31, or, that's if it's 31 days in a month, but 31 days of working exclusively, or say exclusively, with 2 decks, exclusively with 2 decks, a morning and a night, then that really helps me to connect with a deck. And sometimes, so for instance, May into June was with the Toth, because I was really enjoying working with the Toth deck. I know, I can't believe I'm saying those words. I give you all permission to take the mickey out of me after the years and years that I've said things about the Toth. So May, I got to the end of May and I was like, no, I'm not ready to let Toth go. So I worked with it another month. And that could happen because this deck is everything I thought it would be. So yeah, I'm just going to put my Centennial away in its little bedroom box. So got this in Chester, gorgeous little box, just perfect size for a tarot deck. It sits next to my bed on my bedside stand. What were people saying? Let's have a look. I can't just use one deck for an entire month, even one in the morning, one in the evening. Oh yeah, that's the one I read. Big and standard size, says Anna. Single card pull, significantly deeper. It does. Joker Tarot is awesome. I don't know why I'm using the mouse tracker. I think it's because the wheel on this one goes too fast. I don't know where I'm up to now. Stick with what you were doing, Simon. See, I talked to myself. I saw that. I'm scared of the Joker. Tammy Pie saying, don't you enjoy being scared? There. Nova Monday says, guys, I really recommend getting Stunning Tarot 5th edition. Saw some images of that yesterday, Stunning Tarot. I was intrigued, but they're the ones that's in the long shape, a little bit like Yonasiaus. Am I right? I think it's that one. Hello, Adam. How are you? Good to see you. Just looking to see if there's any tagged comments. I don't think there is. Gin palaces, yeah. Can't beat a nice gin palace. Tammy Pie likes Hendrix. I was gonna, after I said that, when I said I really like Hendrix, I thought, oh, they might not have that in the States. I might not know what I'm on about, but clearly they do. So I adore Joker Tarot. What a deck. Really is an amazing deck. Simon, the devil's lettuce is marijuana. Right. Never heard it referred to as that before. Everybody's now telling me what devil's lettuce is. You can get an edible format. People on about that deck, available on the 8th. Tarot Geek is going to have to try Hendrix. See what influencers we are. Hendrix is my favourite. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, but as my nana always used to say, you get what you pay for. And it's true. You do. They have some flowery flavours. The Black Shuck terrifies Artemis from Forest of Enchantment. Forest of Enchantment's a great deck. The only thing about Forest of Enchantment, I really love the images, but the change of the kind of suits and everything else, I'm like, I'm really over that now. Although what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow, in my kind of update to the decks of the month and what's happening, there's a deck that I'm absolutely reconnecting with and loving, and that does change, but the changes aren't confusing at all. You know, changing like a cup to a chalice for me isn't, but changing it to a spiral or a I don't know, a cotton reel. The 7 of earbuds instead of wands, or I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I never mind if it's the elements, you know, having water, fire, etc. Great, because my mind does that anyway. As soon as I see cups, I think water and I think emotions, and then, you know, go from there. But when it's something, and I know they do it to fit a theme, but if it makes me think too much, or I'm like, now what is that again? And the image isn't obvious to the RWS for me to make that connection, then I just kind of think, meh. But there's an oracle coming out, and I'm really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that. I love that deck, Simon. Is that the Metanoia, Holly, that you're referring to there? Metanoia Tarot Marseille is pure class. The creator really nailed it with that deck. It's one of the best Marseille decks out there. Yeah, and there's a deck coming out. How is it pronounced? That's with an M as well. It's just been funded on Kickstarter. And I was going to talk about that actually, so it's reminded me. Where are we? Let me have a look at my message, because we've been messaging each other. Melianne. Oh no, that's not. No, that's somebody else. Who's messaged me recently? Can't find it now. Maybe it was emails that I've had. I think it was. But anyway, what's the name of the deck that's just funded on Kickstarter? It's a Marseille. The Matronia. Thank you, Robbie. Matronia Tarot. So we got the survey this week for that. That's another beautiful deck. The artist is incredibly talented, beautiful. And I backed it, unbacked it, backed it, unbacked it. And right, like an hour before, I had FOMO and I thought, no, I've got to back it. Even though it wasn't the right time of the month in terms of payday and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, did it, sorted it. And then we got the survey this week. And then the shipping has been added and Kickstarter has added a tax as well. And it's almost the same price as the deck. So I contacted her and said, look, really sorry, but wasn't expecting this hidden extra. It's going to have to wait till payday, really is. So are you happy with that? Or is there a chance I can just get a refund? And she came back and we had a lovely email exchange. And she said, I'm really upset. I'm upset for all my backers because Kickstarter didn't tell me about this. I've tried to contact them and it's nearly impossible. And she says, I don't know. I want to get it removed for all my backers. But I said to her, well, look, I'll do it. It's absolutely fine. And then she said, here's my contact details. And when you get paid, she said, sort it out and I'll do it. And I thought that was really nice, but I felt so sorry for her. And I put a post in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group saying, is anybody else? Because I think I backed maybe 10, not a lot, 10, 12 decks over the years on Kickstarter. And this has never happened before. Normally, everything goes out at once. You know, the deck, the shipping, everything just goes out. And I never even thought to myself, oh, that's cheap, you know, of the applied shipping. And then to get another, you need to pay this now. It's about to ship. And I'm like, oh my God, you know. So anyway, but it's a beautiful deck. And I'm glad that I'm still going to be able to have it. I love the rest of the deck, Simon. I got it because I saw the Hermit card and I had to have it. Is that the Metanoia that you're referring to, Artemis? Or are you on about the Joker Tarot? I got Daydream Tarot after your unboxing of it, Simon. What a little beauty. Such a bargain for and nice quality. Yeah, we not like just before you came, Adam, we talked a little bit about that deck, about the fact that they don't list an artist. You blame Ozzy Osbourne? The Bark at the Moon? Are we on about the Moon card? I like that song you did with Kelly. Was it Changes? We're going through changes. That really tugged at my heartstring, that did. I generally find the deck connects to me. There are decks which I'm okay with, but not in love with, but throw me more than another deck I might like more. Hello, Dustin. How are you? I hope you're okay. I was referring to the new version of the Terra Volatile. Okay. Yes, I remember your story about the Black Shuck. The Devil's Lettuce. Am I that far behind? The new Stunning Tarot looks beautiful. Yeah. Ruben Vervains had a sale. Have they? Is that the Pooh, Wisdom of Pooh? I know they made it more accessible, didn't they, before bringing out the Tigger one. Suit changes are hard for me too. Yeah. I mean, well, to be fair, I suppose if you're buying a tarot deck for the first time and you buy that, that's all you know and you learn it that way. But I think when you're so rooted in a particular tarot system and then suddenly it's like, it's too much effort for me. Or do what? Oh no, that I found that to be a little bit annoying. You know, like Chrysalis, they had their version and then they had the traditional version. But that could irk me as well. I'm just a bit irritable, I think, as I get older. Let me try and catch up. Oh my God, we've been on an hour already. For me, suit changes always throw me for a loop. The worst deck for that is Osho Zen. Oh, I love the Osho Zen. What's that? It's like I've got like a bubble with one of your comments, not at the bottom, but just like smack in the middle, and I don't know how to get it off. Ah, it's gone. It's just disappeared. I think it's where your cursor hovers. Okay, here's a question. Hermit's Cave, how did you feel about the suit changes in the Wildwood Tarot, arrows and vessels, whatnot? Yeah, I mean, I use the Wildwood Tarot very differently. I mean, it's out, so it's always out on my desk. So because I'm using my cards of the week and I love the Wildwood, what I do is when we do the card pull, which I use a tile for, and then I'll choose a card. I go to this deck and find it in this deck, and it sits on a stand. But I don't necessarily use it for like reading tarot spreads. I just love it so much that I use it for my card of the week. I think deck creators should just use the element symbols in the corner in a subtle way so you can connect more easily. Yeah, I mean, Silicon Way did that with Shimmering Veil. It's one way around it. Pre-ordered Forest of Enchantment Oracle. Parpolka, I mean, that's a classic Marseille deck, isn't it? Yeah, very macabre. You have this deck also, Simon? No, I do. I got it when it was released back in, I think, 2017. I think it was 2017. I don't know if I've got it where I can just grab it and show you. I did see it just the other day, actually. So it is towards the front somewhere. This is a great little deck as well. The Mirandai. Has everybody seen that one? That's a great little pip deck. Yeah, no, it's not jumping out at me. But I know I've got it pretty much where it's easy to get, he says. But anyway, when you want to find a deck, they don't appear that easily, do they? Never mind. I really feel for the creator on that Kickstarter. Yeah, she's so lovely. She's one of the loveliest people to talk to. FOMO is the worst, especially an hour before a Kickstarter is about to conclude. I don't know how to tag you. You just do the @ symbol and then the title of the Hermit's Cave, but it has to be exact with the apostrophe and everything and capitals. You usually have the same taste in decks as I do. I'll check out the Folklore Oracle. That's why I don't do Kickstarter anymore. Yeah, I'm kind of over the Kickstarter thing. I mean, I had to do Greenwood. Of course I had to do Greenwood, but I tend not to go and have a look. And if people say, oh, have you seen this deck on Kickstarter? I'm like, no, I'm not going to go and have a look. I saw the Matroa. Is that how you say it? Matroa. Because of Greenwood, because I was there and it was at the bottom and I was like, oh, that looks nice. But Rachel says, I backed my first deck the other day on Kickstarter. So what's that, Rachel? Tell us. Hi, Luna. Nice to see you. Very excited for the Matronia. Yeah, I think we all feel bad for her, bless her. Will says, I love that you have the ability to communicate with creators and give us their side of the story. Yeah, I almost copied and posted one of her comments in the thread on the Hermit's Cave Facebook group. I thought, no, that's not, because I just wanted people to know that, this was not something that she was aware of. It's her first Kickstarter campaign. And she even said to me, I don't know if I'll do Kickstarter again. It's really upset me that to think that all of these people that have supported me and my project have now got to pay extra. And, it's like lots of these companies, they eventually get quite greedy. And I'm not saying they're getting it, the money, but she's not. So whether it does get paid into tax, I don't know. Simon is way behind in the chat. How does it happen? Gotta say, the Somnia Tarot still gets me every time I look at it. I love it. Somnia is brilliant. And I got both versions, but the photographic deck is perfection. It's brilliant. I did order the Pooh deck. Just looking through. Aging Simon, embrace your inner curmudgeon. We all go through it. Is that your excuse, Robin? Is that why you're the tarot curmudgeon? I do think, though, those of us who've been around a while, and there's a few in the chat, like, Sandra, Robin, Dustin, we've been doing this for quite a few years now. You do get to that point where you're like, really? Really? And I heard it somewhere and it kind of stuck, and I can't remember who said it, but, just because you can make a tarot deck doesn't necessarily mean you should. And that's not gatekeeping. You do it, But I look at some tarot decks and I think, wow, okay. Yeah. But then there wouldn't be a market for it if people didn't buy them. So, and again, this is just my own personal preferences, and maybe because I am getting older and becoming a bit more cynical, but I just think, really? I'm not going to name them, but there's one recently I'm just like, whatever. But anyway, something for everyone, and that's what inclusivity is. So, Simon, that's your clock chiming, not my clock. No, the city's clock, and it's quite away from here, really. But we hear it nice and loud. I've got the windows open for it being a nice summer evening. Hi, Tamaya. Good to see you. Valentina. I did appreciate Valentina apology and explanation email to backers. She was very sweet and transparent. She is. I found a copy of an old edition, the first Gaian Tarot, in a local shop for €175. But you're not a big fan to pay that much. I think they've done a brilliant job, I have to say. Red Feather, with their new version of the Gaian, is much improved. I think I still like my original the best, but they've done a good job. Vanessa says, Toadstool Tarot, I'm 39 and I've been a curmudgeon since I was 16. Maybe it's because I'm a Capricorn, or maybe some of us are just a bit that way, are built that way. Yeah. I never used to be, but Justin's very selective about the Kickstarters he backs. I'm on a Kickstarter diet. I like it. I like it. It will have been done because Valentina isn't VAT registered, so Kickstarter wouldn't have been able to collect the VAT on her behalf. It's a legal requirement. All right, so her email was asking them to remove it. It'll be in vain then, won't it? All right, Simon. What did I say? What did I say? I can't remember what I said now, Sandra. How far back? I'm only 3 minutes back now. I can see getting cynical after collecting over 2,000 decks. No, I've got just over 1,000 decks, about 1,040 something now, and I'm cynical. I don't mind admitting to it. I'm cynical. I've still got another deck to show you. I see something new in the chat listings. What are these little crown icons with numbers after them? Is that a thing your streamer is doing? Well, I can't see that. That's what I see. And there's no crowns or anything. So I don't know what that is. Anybody else see crowns? You're all royalty to me anyway. Why am I crown number 3? What? Why am I crown number 3? Pass? Oh, Tammy Pie sees it as well. I was also wondering. About being around a while. All right. Yeah, we've been around the block, Sandra. I don't have a crown. Maybe it's only for spammers. Maybe it's a YouTube thing. Well, I'm not getting it. Unless, are you on PCs or laptops or leaderboards, says Tammy Pile? No. Please, YouTube, don't do that. Gosh, can you imagine what that would put on us? Why aren't I on your leaderboard? Top fans. Top fans. Robin, you're my 3rd top fan, are you? That's good to know. I've seen those crowns in other live chats, but not here. I can't see them. And I've not done anything to turn them on. So now people are like, I'm crownless. Are we getting crowns for breathing? No crown. I see no crowns. I want a crown, please. It's whoever is doing the most. Is that true, Tammy Pie? Or just what your thoughts? Whoever's commented the most. Well, that's going to be it now. Someone's going to put 300 dots or something, aren't they? 300 asterisks to get a crown. Will is crown number 2. Oh, I need to... Why isn't it showing for me? Why? Why do I not see crowns? Who's my crown number 1? If Robin's 3 and Will is 2, who's number 1? I don't see crowns. I would not mind a crown, though. If it was down to me, I'd give you all a crown. Tammy Pie is crown number 7. We are all number 1 fans. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that you're being ranked. We are family. We come together every week and lift each other up and support each other. We shouldn't rank who's best. I started off with a crown and lost it. That's because you came in an hour late, Adam. It's like, I'm not giving him a crown. Will can have his crown. Marilyn is number 1. Oh, Marilyn. Old Man has been number one for ages. So this isn't a recent thing then. I'm seeing crowns too, and I had them on mine on Thursday. I was in yours on Thursday. I didn't see crowns. But then, who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody. I think it was Diane. And I was saying that for some reason, and I don't know why, but I started my channel in 2016, started making content in 2017, and I never get alerts to who's subscribed. So I don't know who's a subscriber and who isn't. I never get alerts. Everybody else like gets an email or something saying so and so is just subscribed. I'd never had that. And there's something else I never get. She mentioned, and I said I've never ever known that. And she's like, everybody sees that, and I'm like, no, I don't. So maybe it's because I'm an old timer. Marlene's Tarot take is crown number 1. Sandra doesn't see crowns. Tammy Pie's dropped to 13. Oh my gosh. Let me move on. So I wanted to mention Isabel. I don't know if Isabel is in the chat, but thank you, Isabel, because the other day I did my decks for July. Let me move that comment. You get points for it. I don't know if I like that, but anyway, I did my decks for July, and in that I talked about the deck that Cheryl had sent, and I did a full walkthrough of Earth and Sky. Loving this deck. In fact, my card for today takes it off the stand. It's Fire Spirit Passion. Really cool. And I said last Saturday when Cheryl and I did Spotlight that it had really taken me by surprise. I really love it. But Isabel left a comment saying that Sophie Bashford, who is the creator of the deck, had a deck out a few years ago called Goddesses, Gods, and Guardians, 3 Gs. And I thought, I've seen that somewhere. I've seen it. And I thought, I think it's in Watkins. No, not Watkins. That's in London. Probably is in Watkins. Waterstones. So this afternoon, after I had my little nap, I took a walk over to Waterstones, and they had it. And it's very Hay House. It's very Kyle Gray kind of box, isn't it? A few years ago, Hay House all had these kind of designs on them. And I did take the cellophane off, but that's as far as I've done. It's still got the band on it. I wondered if the cardstock would be the same. And that's why I took the cellophane off. And it looks like it is. So I could make a super deck. They are different artists because Sophie Bashford in her latest one, the artwork is Amalia Rachel. And this one, the artist is Hilary Wilson. But they're very similar. So if I was to show, let me just look at that. Just look at this. I mean, look at that. So that's Baba Yaga. I mean, oh God, this deck. This is the Heaven and Earth, Earth and Sky 1. Gaia there. Demeter. So I just feel that the artwork isn't too dissimilar. And so I thought, well, maybe then we'll merge them. I think there's 44 in Goddesses, Gods and Guardian and 48 in Earth and Sky. But I'll show you a few of these. And I know it's an old deck and you're probably thinking, well, we've had that years, but I'd not seen a walkthrough of it. I've still not seen a walkthrough of it. It wasn't until I read Isabel's comment I thought, I've seen that deck somewhere. Yeah, still going to get Earth and Sky. Have I missed any comments? Please put them in caps so I don't miss them. So we have Baba Yaga. These are the backs as well. So they are going to be different, but I don't mind that. I put my Goddess Love and Goddess Dream decks by Wendy. Wendy, forgot, who did Lunar Moon Hair. And they have different backs, and I don't mind them. It would have been nice if there was like perhaps just a different colour, a bit like Soul Cards, merging those two together. Works, even though they're the same pattern and design, but team merge, yeah, team super deck. So where was I? Baba Yaga, lovely matte cardstock, exactly the same size because they're both by Wendy Andrews. Thank you, Sandra. Both by Hay House. Bridget. We have the Butterfly Maiden, Dryad. Stunning. I think I found a rival for my Angels and Ancestors. Look at Hecate. Oh. We have Hell. High Priest of Atlantis. Hod. So gorgeous. I got Wise Earth Medicine Tarot in this week. Beautiful deck. Do you have a channel, Adam? Because you get some pretty cool decks. It would be cool if you showed them. I love the colours in that. King Neptune. It's a good card. I've just showed the Tempest Tarot this week, with Neptune being the Hangman card. Yes, I love this one. Had it a while. And did you realise it was the same creator when we was going on about Earth and Sky last week, Sandra? Mary Magdalene. There's another Glastonbury card. We have Merlin with the Tor in the background. The Tor appears in the Earth and Sky as well. Mermaid of Lemuria. Mother Mary. I bet there's going to be a Jesus card, isn't there? Love this. I love the light shards. Look on the. Isn't that beautiful? Reflecting on a robe. We have Oshun. Yes, I knew I'd seen her name before. Pele. We have Persephone. Beautiful. Look at the colours. Rhiannon. Sandra takes Mother Mary out of hers because it doesn't do anything for me. I've got Thoth. I won't. I'll keep it in. I think I'd probably. There would be a card I'd take out, but I don't think it's in here anyway. Look at the Sirens. Artemis. See, for me, Mother Mary, I don't have necessarily an issue with as an archetype figure. We have Avalon Priestess as well. Okay, so let's just check the card stock. Is it exactly the same? Yes, I think it is. So, how thick will this be? He would definitely be into the devil's lettuce. Who are we talking about now? Who's into the devil's lettuce? I am thinking of starting to do videos, but just showing a table and cards, maybe showing up later down the line. Yeah, whatever gets you going, Adam. I want to do true crime, conspiracy, mediumship, readings and unboxings. Do it. Go for it. The Devil's Lettuce Arcanum. Cheryl also can't do with Mother Mary and decks. I'd love to subscribe to every one of you. Can we somehow create a list somewhere? We did that, in the Hermit's Cave a few years ago, where we just said who we were. I wonder if we can do it on YouTube, because not everybody's in or on Facebook, and I get how icky Facebook can be now. So I wonder if I was to create a post, a community post, and ask everybody to list their channel names or something like that. Would that work? And, if I discover new channels, I tend to do shout outs as well. So I'm always happy to do that if somebody lets me know that they've started a channel. Just looking how this super deck is coming on. Got a couple of extra cards because one has a few more cards than the other. Wow. That's not too, I've got big hands. That's not too bad. Oh, look what's on top. So yeah, so now we've got Gods, Goddess, and Guardians of the Earth and Sky deck. Anyway, it's 8:30. I'll just see if there's any last comments, and then we'll do the weekly card pull. Where are we? You might not be able to create a list as part of your channel, Simon. You might be able to create a list as part of your channel. I was thinking, you can do a post on your community. What's the best and worst experience you've had with a tarot creator seller buying a deck? I've had loads of wonderful experiences. I can't really say the best. Probably Patrick Valenza, because he always does a little personal illustration for you and he writes your name, and that personal touch is really nice to get an artist who actually personalizes your packaging and stuff, or you'll put a little hidden doodle under the flap of your tuck box or something like that. So that's been nice. Worst, I don't really want to say the worst experience, but yeah, I'm not about throwing people under the bus, but I'm in for the community post, come for the cards, stay for some pie. And Tom, who recommended the 1909 deck I showed earlier, also said, have you heard of a shop called Soster and Grenny? We've had one open in London. They're really making an impact in the UK. We've had ours for over 10 years. But this is where I got this from. It's really good for things like tarot tiles. You can have a really good rummage around. I bequeath you my crown. Somebody's crown slipped. Well, somebody says that, don't? Oh no, halo. It's your halo that slips into it. Ooh, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So this week you might be thinking or wondering where or what next. We all get to that point, don't we, where we stop what we're doing and we check in with ourselves and we check, where are we now? What progress have we made so far? And we do that because we want to make sure that we're on the right track with things. And I think it's really healthy because sometimes you can become so eye-single to what you're doing that you don't actually take a step back, pause, look at your progress that you're making and think, okay, where am I going? Am I still on course for what it is that I want to do? Do I need to reevaluate a little bit? Do I need to think about what my next move might be? And sometimes it's about taking that pause and stepping back, because when there's distance between us and the thing, then we can really evaluate the situation. And sometimes it's good to see how far things have gone, particularly if you're working towards achieving something, how far you are with that progress. But ultimately as well, this card, the Seven of Pentacles, says that it's okay to take a break. There was something in last week's card pull as well that said something about a break isn't I can't remember. In fact, let me just quickly tell you, because I wrote it and I thought, quite proud of that. As you do sometimes. Groups. Hermit's Cave. It's going to take forever for my post to come up though, isn't it? And the moment will have passed. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Trust that rest is not delay, it's preparation. And the same applies here as well, because last week it was the Four of Swords. The same applies here. Taking a break, taking a rest is really important to do, because sometimes, and we've talked about this, earlier when talked about health stuff, sometimes you can be so engrossed in what you are doing that you don't see the progress you're making, and you get swamped by everything and you think, oh, this is going nowhere. And so take a break, step back, look at the situation, see the progress, decide your next move, and make sure that you're still on course. So that's our message for the week ahead anyway. I'll write it up and I will pop it in the Hermit's Cave for everybody to show their Seven of Pentacles. Thank you for being here, everybody. Lovely to hang out with you. Lovely to see you all. And I look forward to every week. I'll be here next Saturday. So hopefully you'll be able to catch me same time, same place. And until then, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.